Welcome to week 9 of Bible Studies for Life. We're continuing today in the book of Luke, looking at stories of faith, people who put their faith in Jesus. You're going to like this story today from Luke chapter 7. Probably familiar with it already, but we're going to dive into it and see what else we can find in this story that we may not have seen otherwise. Before we do that, be sure and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right down there. Like, comment, questions, put those in there. Share it with other people. Appreciate it if you do that. And then if you want to support what we're doing, go to give.exposedtochrist.com to find out about that. Let's look at Luke chapter 7. When he had concluded saying all this to the people who were listening, he entered Capernaum. A centurion's servant, who was highly valued by him, was sick and about to die. When the centurion heard about Jesus, he sent some Jewish elders to him, requesting him to come and save the life of his servant. Okay, so we're in Capernaum. Jesus has been teaching. And now this centurion's servant is sick and about to die. Okay? So what is the centurion going to do? And this study in the centurion is interesting. Centurion is a Roman soldier who leads 100. He has 100 men under him, hence the name centurion. And, generally we look at first century Rome. We look at first century in Israel, and Rome is ruling over Israel, and there is a combative relationship between the Roman soldiers and the Jewish population, and certainly between the Roman soldiers and the Jewish leaders. It's usually combative, but this is not a normal situation. Here we have this centurion who has a relationship, we'll see that here in a minute, with the Jewish elders, and he has heard about, at the very least, heard about, if not actually listened to Jesus, but he's heard about him, right? So look what he does. He says he's heard about Jesus, so he sent Jewish elders to him. So the Roman centurion went to the Jewish elders and asked them to go talk to Jesus. He didn't feel like he could go. Maybe he wasn't his place. Maybe he was Roman. Jesus was Jewish. Maybe that. For whatever reason, he didn't feel like he could go, and he didn't send one of his own servants. He sent Jewish, he's like, let's work within the circle. He's a Jew, there's other Jewish leaders, let's send them too. And you wonder, because the relationship between the Jewish elders and Jesus was not always very good, and yet they went, right? They went to find Jesus, requesting him to come and save the life of his servant. He had a certainty about what Jesus could do if he would only come, and so he sends the elders there, the Jewish elders, to go get Jesus to bring him to help his servant. So when they reached Jesus, they pleaded with him earnestly, saying, he is worthy for you to grant this because he loves our nation and has built us a synagogue. So now we see where this relationship between the centurion and the elders, the Jewish people, goes, right? He says he loves our nation, has built us a synagogue. So he has been a follower of Judaism, a convert, not fully. He's still Roman, but he is certainly inclined towards Judaism and the Jewish people. And he says he loves our nation, so he is worthy. This is interesting, right? He's worthy. The Jewish elders go to Jesus and say, Jesus, this man is worthy of your help. Because, Jesus doesn't just help anybody, right? He only helps the good people. Or maybe let's try to make it more likely that he'll help, because he's one of the good guys. He's not your typical Roman. He actually loves the Jews. He's even built us a synagogue. He's a good guy. I know he's on the wrong team here, but he's a good guy. And you see this in their plea, a real lack of understanding of Jesus, a lack of understanding of his message, a lack of understanding of why he has come and for whom he has come, even a lack of understanding of how Jesus has acted with others, right? They just don't. They just think, well, Jesus is only going to help the good Jews. Yeah, and so this is a centurion, but he's about as close to a good Jew as you can get, so they're trying to make it where maybe he'll come and help if we say this guy's a good enough guy. So Jesus went with them. And and we don't see this, oh, well, if he's a good guy, then I'll go help. Jesus went with him, and when he was not far off from the house, the centurion sent friends to tell him, excuse me, Lord, don't trouble yourself, since I'm not worthy to have you come under my roof. That's why I didn't even consider myself worthy to come to you. But say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I too am a man placed under authority, having soldiers under my command. I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my servant, do this, and he does it. So on the way to the centurion's house, they get met with message, right? Friends of the centurion. So isn't it interesting now? When he needed help, he went to the Jewish elders. But now he's like, I need help. I'm desperate. Y'all go. He didn't send them first, right? And he says, Lord, don't trouble yourself. You don't have to come because look, I am not worthy. That's why I didn't consider myself worthy to come to you. Now, what was it they said? Oh, he's worthy. The Jewish elders said, oh, he's definitely worthy. This is a good guy. But what does he say about himself? He says, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy for you to even come into my home. I'm not worthy for me to come to you. He's a Roman centurion. He's wealthy. He's powerful in the town. He can make things happen. And he says, I'm not even worthy to come talk. That's why I sent other people, Jesus. It wasn't out of disrespect. It was out of actually ultimate respect. I didn't feel like I was worthy to even come and talk to you. So that's why I sent people. He says, but here's what I know. Right? He says, you say the word, and my servant will be healed. He says, Jesus, look, you don't have to come. I know if you just say it, it'll happen. Now, he had a belief about Jesus that I don't think the disciples had at this point. He had a faith in who Jesus was and what Jesus could do that I'm pretty sure the disciples had not arrived at this point, and certainly the Jewish leadership had not arrived there. But he said, look, I know what it's like to say to this one, go, and he goes, and to this one, come, and he comes. Do this, and he does it. I know, and you're in command. He says, I have soldiers under my command, but it appears his belief is the disease is under your command. You can just say, and it'll happen. Man, Jesus says this. When Jesus heard this and was amazed at him, and turning to the crowd following him, he said this, I tell you, I have not found so great a faith even in Israel. When those who had been sent returned to the house, they found the servant in good health. Jesus is, it's like, y'all hear this? Y'all hear what he said? That faith doesn't exist in Israel. He has a faith and a trust in me. Now it will, but to that point, it did not. He said, I haven't found that. This man has an understanding of who Jesus is that the disciples didn't have, the elders didn't have. They thought we need to make sure the guy's worthy for you to help him. The disciples, I don't think, had this faith at this point. This trust that the Lord will do. The Lord can do anything. That all of these things, all of this earth, all of creation is under his command. That he can bring to bear everything that he needs to accomplish his purposes. I love this statement. I've heard it from other people, so I don't know where it originated, but basically it's like this. God is under no obligation to resource your plans for your life, but God will spare no expense to resource his plan for your life. God can do whatever he wants to do to make his plan, his will happen. But he is not obligated to raise even a finger for my plan, for what I want to have happen. But he will spare no expense to accomplish what he wants to have happen, because he has all of this under his authority. That is his faith. That was the centurion's faith. Amazing centurion's faith. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope it's helped. Read the story, dive into it, spend time with it. Don't go past stuff. It's good stuff. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, share with somebody else. Ask your questions. Appreciate it when you do that. Try to answer them the best I can. We'll see you next time.